Hello everyone, a very warm welcome again to the virtual session of Science Children. I hope you all are doing very well health wise and you all are doing very well in your studies as well, children. So, and I am very much hopeful you are maintaining your notebook. So, let us see what are we going to have in this virtual session of science. We are going to begin with a new chapter, transportation in plants and animals. So, as a regular practice, you are going to write this in your index of the notebook. Write today's date, that is the date of the session. Take a new page, write down the title, and start writing the points which are being discussed in this session. So, I hope the instruction is quite clear. So, let's get started with transportation in animals and plants. Let's see why plants and animals need a transportation system. We know that all living organisms like plants and animals need food, oxygen and water so that they can survive. These elements need to be delivered to their body parts so that they can function properly. Hence, all living organisms need a transport system in their bodies. So, as you all know, food is prepared on a certain part of the body in plants, that is leaves. And in leaves prepare food by photosynthesis, and it get transported to all the various parts of the plants. If it is not get transported, that part of the plant will not be able to survive, and eventually plants will die. Definitely all the living organisms require this kind of transportation system in our body also. When glucose is prepared, it has to be transported to each and every cells of the body, otherwise that particular part of the body will be lifeless, will not work at all. So each and every part of the body, each and every cells of the body require glucose, that is energy. Your brain require glucose, the cells in the brain require glucose to perform work. Every cell is performing its work, it has its own functions to perform. So to perform that function, it requires energy, and that has to be transported when glucose is prepared in the body. So that's how through blood the energy, that means glucose, is given to all the various parts of the body. That's why every living organism require a transportation system, and every system has a different way of working. We are going to eventually see all the transportation system in our body and how blood helps in the transportation of oxygen, glucose and all that. So please write down these points in your notebook, children. Then human circulatory system, where you have veins, you have heart, you have artery. So the heart, as you know, the pumping station of blood, where it will take up deoxygenated blood, it will add oxygen, and with the oxygenated blood has to be supplied to each and every part of the body for the proper functioning of the body. So just have a look at the human circulatory system. This is a transportation system in human, where the veins and the arteries plays a very important role in transportation of blood and supplying oxygen to all the cells of the body. Just have a look. The circulatory system is a transport system of the human body, which consists of a network that supplies food, water, oxygen and other substances throughout the body. So whatever we are eating as food or any medicine or anything which we are consuming is get transported to all the various parts of the body. That is a circulatory system in the body. The main parts of the circulatory system are blood vessel and heart. These are the three very important part of the human circulatory system. So majorly in this chapter we are going to deal with the transportation system in human and the working of the heart and all the other important aspect of the circulatory system we are going to see. So please take down the main parts of the circulatory system: blood vessel and heart. And it consists of a network actually, so that each and every part, each and every cells of the body get the required amount of oxygen, food, water, etc. You all know We require food, we require oxygen, we require water. Blood, let us see blood. Blood is red in color, is a red color fluid that flows in our body through the blood vessels. Take down this point. So as you all know, it is due to the hemoglobin presence in red blood cells, which is responsible for the red color of the blood, and it flows in our body through blood vessels. Our body has a huge network of blood vessels which helps in the movement of blood throughout the body. Functions of blood. Take down the functions. The blood acts as the medium of transportation of essential substances throughout our body, such as oxygens and nutrients. Second point, blood carries oxygen from the lungs and transport it to the different cells of the body. Blood has all very important functions to perform. Blood also carries waste material to the kidneys, which then filters the blood. So blood has to be filtered, all the toxic unwanted waste material has to be removed. So the kidney acts as a filter. It will take the blood, take all the waste material to the kidney. That kidney will act as a filter to remove the toxic waste, which will be very harmful to the body. So here also blood is very important. Fourth point, the small intestine digests the food and absorb its nutrients. So as you have done a human digestive system, where you have learned the small intestine, the role of the small intestine, it digests the food and absorbs its nutrient. These nutrients are provided to all the parts of the body through blood. The blood also protects the body from losing blood by forming a blood clot at the place of injury. So when you have a small cut or an injury, you will see some blood will come out of the cut part of the body. But then after some time, even if you are not applying any medication or any ointment, the blood will clot, the blood will thicken at that area and blood flow will stop. Otherwise, with a very small cut, all the body blood will be lost, and that will be very harmful, and that can lead to death. But it will never happen. With the small injury, the blood loss is taken care by blood clotting. The blood contains a special substance that helps in regulating the temperature of the body. So the temperature of the body has to be regulated, otherwise it will be very dangerous. It can also lead to death. So during summer, when it is a scorching heat, you have to take care. The body temperature has to be regulated by continuous sweat, and the sweating helps us to regulate the body temperature. This is done with the help of blood. I hope these functions of the blood is very clear with you all children. Thank you children. So here we are ending the session, and you have taken down all the important points in your notebook. Have a wonderful day.